Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Palaya. This is Cuts from the Street. We out here at the Aggie Parade, right? The homecoming. All right. So we got with us today.
My name's Miss Amy Wilder. And Zaria.
Mildred Wren.
Josh.
Candace.
All right, Candace.
Chris.
What we're talking about today, we're at the what they call the G-Ho. That's what they call it, right? The greatest homecoming or so forth is one of the biggest ones, A&T. We're asking the people about the topic of free speech. We see in the media certain people making statements that are controversial, such as Ye, so on and so forth, even Nick Cannon. Different people speaking about our people and our condition or our true state or status, our nationality, and where we belong as far as our conditions and our treatment, right?
So I got a question. You know what freedom of speech is, right?
Yeah. Freedom of speech. The Founding Fathers named the first 10 amendments to the Constitution the Bill of Rights, the first of which guarantees some of the most fundamental freedoms of our country, including freedoms of press, protest, religion, assembly, and last but certainly not least, freedom of speech. The definition of free speech and its limits, such as censorship and hate speech, have been debated since the initial adoption of the First Amendment. Freedom of speech is considered a fundamental building block of liberty, allowing citizens to express their ideas and bring about the change that reflects the needs of the people. It also gives a voice to sometimes conflicting or dissenting opinions, which is believed to inspire the healthy debate that moves society forward.
So we talking about today, the topics we talking about today is kind of what's been going on in the media. So America, right? Land of the free, home of the brave. We supposed to have freedom of speech. Do y'all believe we got freedom of speech today?
Oh, absolutely not.
Why not?
Well, because our voice that we try to give and we should be able to give is always stopped based off of who you are, and it's based off of your title. What's your title? And it can be just, it's not your God-given title, but it's just based off of a title that's man-made.
But what do you think about free speech? Does free speech seem to be as free as they say it is?
No. It isn't. I mean, I feel like everybody should have a voice in this world. But some folks, they don't talk up. And I don't understand that. We should all talk up for ourselves and speak. Because ain't nobody going to listen unless we talk.
Depending on how people feel you are or how far up the chain you are, then your voice matters. Us is where they want to use us in order to get what they want, not caring about what we need.
So I hear you. So you saying your social status determines how your voice is heard. So, hey, there's some recent events that went on. Actually been going on, but this one's more prominent with Ye, right? You heard about what he said on Twitter and he's been saying in the media. Now, he has what you would say is a high social status, right?
He does.
So did he have freedom of speech?
I would say he felt he had freedom of speech, meaning he utilized his speech, but it wasn't for his good.
I wouldn't say freedom of speech is really free as of right now, because I feel like you can get, some people be getting killed about what they say. So, I don't think it's free.
So is freedom of speech free, or does it come with a price?
To me, I think it comes with a price, because you always have to be careful for what you say.
It definitely comes with a cost.
You have like an example that showing an example of it coming to a cost?
I mean, you want to keep it current. I mean, the things that Kanye West is expressing right now, he is speaking the truth, and you see the backlash that comes along with it. Monetarily, the confusion is causing a lot of people.
So then we made the White Lives Matter tees, and then when I put up the tweet, the DEF CON tweet, now he ain't releasing the tee because he's Jewish. And I'm like, see, this is my exact point that I'm making. Like, Jewish people have owned the black voice, whether it's through us wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt, or it's all of us being signed to a record label, or having a Jewish manager, or being signed to a Jewish basketball team, or doing a movie on a Jewish platform like Disney. And we understand it's like, I respect what the Jewish people have done and how they brought their people together. So like, say, with me and Jay, with our culture, with the with the darker Jews. First of all, because you got
It just happens when anybody starts talking deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the darker Jews, the 12 lost tribes of Israel, who we are, because we Jewish also. We from Africa also. We're the blood of Christ. So we're not just black. We are Jew, just like the Jewish people. And now we're coming into.
You feel like the black voice itself is silent due to this?
Is the black voice silent? I wouldn't necessarily say the black voice is silent. I just don't think they have one sound. That's the biggest issue right now. Again, his statement has caused confusion, so I don't think that a lot of people know exactly what to believe. So everybody's just speaking out of their personal feelings without knowing a solid truth or foundation.
The White Lives Matter was before this incident. You know what's funny? The White Lives Matter, none of those companies left him for the White Lives Matter incident. They didn't have a problem with that. But they had a problem with what he said. Now, what he said on Twitter was, quote, "I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Y'all have controlled my life. Y'all been playing games with me." And he said, and it's not anti-Semitic. This is what he said. It's not anti-Semitic because blacks are Jews also. That's what he said. So they took the DEFCON 3 and the blacks are Jews also, and they said he's anti-Semitic. And they blackballed him from many media outlets, and they took his shoe deals. They took billions of dollars from him. His bank cut him off. Put your money somewhere else. All that. Now, what he said, how is that serious? I'm asking.
I mean, words have power. So you have to be mindful whenever you use your words, it comes with consequences, be it good or bad.
Over the past few years, or even the past few months, we've seen a lot of celebrities come out and say that the Jews are black. We've seen Nick Cannon, he was one who said that. Ice Cube said it. There was another lady, I forgot her name, but she's made that statement. Now Kanye West saying it. And the interesting thing is that every single time that these people have said it, the media has went on a complete onslaught against them to the point where they've had to apologize. So do you think there's anything wrong with them making that statement on the media or social media?
No, I don't think it's exactly wrong because of the fact, like I said, everybody has some mix with them. So it's not fair to those people that their culture has that mix in them, or that nationality and that culture. So it's not fair to them because they are a representation of that.
But you see that these artists, a lot of times, they're able to say these things, but then they end up retracting that statement. If they ever speak about our nationality biblically in the Bible, that we are the Israelites, they end up saying, "I'm sorry," or "I shouldn't say that," or "my bad." Why do you think that is?
They chicken.
They chicken? What do you think they should do instead?
If you don't speak up, keep your mouth shut. But if you want to be heard, you got to open your mouth.
You notice that they all had to make public statements and apologize to the people who run that industry, the media, the social media industry. So, do you think that that's fair? Like, you think that that's right?
See, that's what I'm saying right there. He had to apologize from what he's saying. That's not, I don't think, right there, it's not freedom of speech right there. I feel like if you have to apologize for what you got to say, that's not, I feel like if you say it, you shouldn't have to apologize for it, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but do you notice that it's only when black people claim that they're the Israelites or the Jews that there seems to be a major issue?
I feel like if somebody not comfortable with it, then they're not going to understand it. They're going to question it, and then they're going to try to bully you for it or put you down for it, so something like that. So I really feel like it's everybody else, to be honest. People not being, I would say, comfortable.
Here's the question, right? So is freedom of speech really there if you say certain things, it could cost you your job? If you say certain things, it could cost you your finances. It could turn people against you. You know what I'm saying? Is that really freedom of speech? Wouldn't that kind of make me incentivize me not to say the things I want to say?
Absolutely. I mean, just we as a people, we always feel like our voices are not heard. And I know now when we're dealing with social media and different things, we are wanting to utilize our voice, but we really don't have freedom of speech, because even when we do speak, it's quickly silenced, again, based off of who we are.
I'd say with social media right now, I think a lot of people are being censored with what they say, you know, because social media is ran by these big people or whatever, so whatever they want you to hear is what you hear, you know.
That's a very serious freedom of speech issue. To me, that is so far off the rail.
UC Berkeley professor John Powell is an expert on civil liberties and democracy. He's especially alarmed at the record number of books that are being banned in schools all over the country. Conservatives object to books about sex, gender issues, and racial injustice, and liberals object to books containing outdated racial depictions.
You can't make the Holocaust a nice thing. It wasn't a nice thing. You can't make slavery a nice thing. That makes people uncomfortable. It should make people uncomfortable. The goal of education is not comfort. So if someone really wants to challenge the Holocaust, let them challenge it, but don't ban a discussion on it.
In the mid-1800s, English philosopher John Stuart Mill proposed that governments limit free speech only when it would cause harm to others.
He wrote a book called On Liberty, on Freedom, and he was very concerned of the government silencing people, that citizens had to have the right to express themselves.
Our laws have generally followed that guideline. In the U.S., public speech can't include obscenity, defamation, death threats, incitement to violence, harms. But Powell says that the recent restrictions have more to do with culture wars than with preventing harm.
I want to regulate that because I don't like it. To me, that's wrong. That's problematic. Now there's a concept of disinformation, where you deliberately engage in lies, in fact, to cause harm, to cause injury, to exclude some people. But what it really means is that our understanding of the First Amendment and our understanding of free speech is evolving. It has to evolve.
The free speech protections of the First Amendment are so complicated, it's no surprise that most Americans seem to misunderstand them. Free speech is anything but absolute. In fact, it only prevents the government from intruding on speech. The First Amendment gives a person no right whatsoever to say whatever they want on a private company's platform. Of course, all speech is subject to some regulation, whether or not it's on a private forum. You can't threaten people, you can't slander people, there are some limitations. But as much as social media companies like Facebook or Twitter feel like publicly available forums for anybody, they are anything but. These social media companies are privately owned. They're not owned by the government. So the First Amendment doesn't even apply to them.
There are 4 limitations, so to speak, to free speech as it is written on the books. It's you can have the free speech, so they say, up until you say child pornography things, defamation, inciting violence, threat of true violence, things like that, right? Those are the few things that you're not allowed to say that are dangerous, they say. Do you think Kanye saying that black people are the true Jews according to the Bible, did that actually break any of those stipulations to the free speech law?
Yeah, he spoke the truth.
Right. But what part of it did it break? Did it violate, I'm saying?
Well, I guess the white folks didn't like it. That's about all.
They didn't like it?
No, the white folks probably didn't like that at all, because they think they were here first.
They didn't like it. They're actually having him banned from a lot of his own companies, kicked out of Skechers buildings, so forth, actually being removed out of the contracts that they said that they're going to pay him for, things like that.
Now, do you think saying that you're a Jew, that you're an Israelite, according to the Bible, do that fall into those 4 categories?
Not at all. Not at all.
Why would you think that Kanye West and these other celebrities who say they are who call themselves Jew, being hit with a lot of backlash?
Because the individuals who claim to be Jews are really the ones who kind of own everything. So they're the puppet masters, and I think a lot of these guys have got involved with something that they didn't fully or truly understand prior to getting involved with. So, you know, the things that he's saying is causing an uproar because he's starting to unravel the truth in front of the world.
Now, what you said, though, is heavy. She said words have power, right? The people that blackballed him understand that also. So it wasn't necessarily, because the DEFCON 3, they emphasized that, but it's what he said after, when he said blacks are Jews also, right? That's the part they didn't like the most. because words have power. And when you see, and he was also speaking against established norms, because what he did say that the so-called the Jewish today, right? They control most of the media outlets. They control our contracts, our deals, and how black people our media that's pushed to us, right? And when you look it up, it's just facts. It's not racist. It's facts. They literally do own like Viacom, the news channels, the record labels. At the head of those record labels is literally all Jewish people. So they're controlling kind of what we listen to. And now, is our music the best?
I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
Hey, I got a good question. Will our music teach you? Our music, our people do. Would it teach your daughter? Would it teach you to grow up and get married?
No.
Right. Will it teach you to love yourself, love your own look, how you look?
No.
Right. But that's what's pushed to us, right?
I'm dealing with the industry, the music industry and things like that. Jamaica, they just took and made an effective ban on all violent, drug-related music and things like that, right? Do you think that that's fair? Or do you think it's that type of what they deem as destructive communication coming through social media? Do you think that is also an infringement on freedom of speech?
I mean, at the end of the day, the music that we got now, you see what it's doing to everybody. You got YoungBoy, bro. Everybody bumping YoungBoy in the car. They running around, got guns or whatever. Right. So I feel like if they want to stop that music, that's not. I wouldn't say that's not freedom of speech, but I feel like it's a safety concern, bro. Because everybody, each and every person got guns, bro. Everybody a killer nowadays.
They shouldn't have all that violence in their music. Music is something that's supposed to be easy and make you happy and joyful. It ain't supposed to make you angry and want to go out there and do something stupid. I mean, all that don't make no sense. All that violence, it don't make no sense to me at all.
Do you think that that's okay?
No, because if that's what they've been doing for so long, especially since, Bob Marley and his kids and things, and they've been doing that so long with their culture for so many years and so many decades, then I don't see why they should stop it now. That doesn't seem fair either.
And do you feel like, as far as with the music, you think that has a lot to do with showing us who we truly are?
The music in itself is just a tool.
Right.
I think it's what's being said and how the music is being manipulated is what's really driving the factors of it all. So, and the Bible says Satan was the master of music. So if you really kind of get into the nitty-gritty of things when it comes to music, you realize how it impacts you mentally, spiritually, and and physically, really.
Okay, do you feel like if we was to switch over from rapping about guns and shootings and killing each other, start rapping more about marriage and telling who we truly are according to the Bible, and showing love towards each other, do you believe that will actually start turning things around for our community?
Yeah. It'd be a hard exchange for us, but again, you got guys out here who do it. There's a lot of artists out here who promote positive images of us. It's just that it doesn't sell. It doesn't get the same. It doesn't cause the same dopamine effect, and that's the problem. We're just so used to, being pushed to do something. So yeah. It'd be good for us to change.
Okay, so did you know that this certain level of oppression has happened to us numerous times in history? Right. It's not just now. It's happened way back in biblical times, right? Can I get First Maccabees real quick? You believe in the Bible? You don't? Is there a reason?
It was forced on me.
So the Bible wasn't forced on you. Christianity was forced on you.
Yeah. As I get older, I start questioning certain things. So it's just
okay. That's good. That's the same reason why we came to the conclusion.
It's not that I don't believe. I just question.
Okay. Do you know history? Are you good with history?
Somewhat.
Okay. You ever heard of the Maccabean Wars?
Also known as Hanukkah, is an 8-day high holy week, commemorating our forefathers cleansing and dedicating the Lord's holy sanctuary. The origins of this feast began with the prophecy in Daniel chapter 8, which discusses the beginning of the Greek Empire and the prophecy of Alexander the Great, a powerful ruler that had the dark-skinned nations in subjection to him during his reign. He eventually divided his empire among 4 of his noble generals before his death, one of them being General Seleucus, which was given the land of Syria and had a son named Antiochus, who became a great force as a king. He ruled over Egypt, Armenia, and Israel. King Antiochus eventually defeated the Israelites in war and indoctrinated them with his religion and philosophies. He enforced laws that prohibited Israel's observance of holy gatherings and daily sacrificial practices in the Lord's sanctuary. Some Israelites succumbed to the king's commandments and defiled themselves by making sacrifices unto pagan idols, swine's flesh, and profaning the Lord's holy feast. During this tumultuous time in Israel, Mattathias, an Israelite from the tribe of Levi, along with his sons and brethren, unified themselves to walk in the covenant of their fathers. In seeking justice, they smote sinful men, destroyed pagan altars, circumcised all children they found uncircumcised, and recovered the book of the law from the hands of the Greeks. When Mattathias died, his son Judas, also called Maccabee, which means the hammer, fought for and cleansed the sanctuary with his brethren. In righteousness, these men of the Lord offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings they made.
All right, so that's biblical history. It's well-known black history, but it's also biblical history, right? So check this out. Read that.
2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days, or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So during the time of the Greeks, when the Greeks or the so-called Edomites had us in slavery, right? They made a law against us saying that we couldn't keep our laws, right? We couldn't keep the Sabbath day, our holy days, but we couldn't even call ourselves Jews, right? Which is the same thing that's happening to those same people today, right? The people of God are unable to call ourselves the real Jews because another nation of people has taken on that identity, right? And they're the ones who are oppressing us.
So this has happened before. What you see in the media right now, the way that our artists may find out about that biblical history about Moses being black, about Christ being black, about us being the literal descendants of the same people that were taken out of Egypt in captivity at that time. It is now a problem when we say it out loud in the media, especially if you're famous, because other people might notice.
That's true. I can understand where they wouldn't want somebody real famous to say something like that because that would make other people be aware of it. And they feel like if they spoke out, then other people would listen. And they don't want them speaking out. So they're going to suppress what they have to say so we won't understand it.
Right. I agree with you, Mildred.
So Kanye, he's right in what he was saying as far as the truth about it. But now, as far as the DEFCON 3 and all that stuff, you know, we can't really, I mean, you can argue that. Yeah, you could argue that. Yeah, but he has a point. And that's what the world knows. So the problem is now, because that truth has been hidden for all that time, and now that it's realized that some people are lying on the earth, things have to be, damage control has to happen. They have to try to sweep things under the rug or fix things up to make it, to keep us under that veil of confusion. So watch, I'm gonna show you something. Watch this. One more scripture, Revelation 2:9. Because the thing is, the powers that be, or the people who are running everything, they're paying top dollar to keep that, what we just read, hidden from everybody. Everybody in this crowd right here, all of them is the Jews, but they don't know that. And they don't want our people to know it. Yeah, they don't want our people to know it. So watch this.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich.
So Jesus, he was talking to the churches at that time. That was the Israelites. He said, I know your works, your tribulations, and your poverty. So he's saying that those Jews at that time, they would be in tribulation and they would be in poverty in those days. Those Jews who call themselves the Israelis, they got their own military, they got their own country, they got the banks in control, they got the media. If you look all the top executives of NBC, of Fox News, of CNN, of all the news stations, you're going to find out all of them is Jewish. The record labels, everything, they have control over all of that. So they not in poverty. Read on.
And I know the blasphemy. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich.
I said, but thou art rich. So it's saying that we're rich. The reason why we're rich is because everything in the Bible is promised is for us. Come on.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
So God is saying there's a blasphemy of people that saying they are Jews and are not the Jews. Read on.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
So there are people on the earth today who are calling themselves Jews, but they're not the Jews. God says out the Bible they're the synagogue of Satan. So they're the devil the Bible speaks of.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is